Hey guys, today we're going to be going over the 3D UI interface project. You use many different tools to create your UI. You can use grouping, the type tool, deformers, mesh networks, animate some color, transparency, incandescence, and animate lights. If you combine all of these, you can create some pretty cool stuff, so good luck. For your particular project, you're going to be creating some looping animations, creating 8 UI elements, and put it all together in an interface in Premiere or After Effects. I'm creating this video with 2 different parts. The first part, which is this one, is going to give you a few ideas and show you how to export and put together your interface. The second video is just for those that want to rehash on the mesh networks and deformers and how you can use them to make some pretty cool stuff. So here I'm just going to be going over some of the UI I've used. This is an armor UI I created using some bend deformers for the halos and mesh networked around my torso mesh to create a pretty cool armor heads up. This is a topographic map. I created it using some wave deformers to create like mounds that could be mountains, and I use a moving point light to just give some shine to it. Aim reticle, pretty basic actually. All I did was animate a lot of translation and rotation, and I used pipes and detached and separated them to create 4 different parts. This is a little altitude indicator I made using reference. This is actually pretty basic. I just did some rotation translating and used a bend deformer. Alright, we're going to be going over how to export next, so get ready. Alright, so the important thing here is set up your cameras correctly. Thing I figured out was when you're setting up your interface, it's important to have all your cameras at the same angle, so when you're setting them up and capturing the animations, make sure to take note of the angle and use that for all the cameras. Now, go into your render settings and make sure to change the render from our own renderer to Maya Hardware, which is what we will be using for this assignment. Make sure that you use PNG as the file. You're going to need an alpha channel for this, so PNG is pretty good. Your frame extension should be name, number, and extension. Just makes it easier to find it. Your frame padding should be just how many digits your total animation number is, and then make sure to set up your start frame and end frame. And then obviously change your render camera to your camera, and then HD 1080p for the resolution. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to set up your project. Just go to File and then go to Project Window. That'll open the screen where you can essentially create a new project in Documents or Desktop, where you want to put it. Make sure to name your project, and then for the images, because you want to choose where the images go, just go and click on the File button and select where you want your files to go. I have an image sequence folder that I have, and I have 4 different folders set up. Alright, so let's start rendering. Go to your render window, has a little eye on it, and I like to make it small just so it's not taking up the entire screen. And then go to render sequence. Make sure you have your camera selected, and go ahead and do render sequence and close. I like to do render sequence and close because it closes that little small window, and that's when you know it's done. So when it's all done, you should be able to go to your desktop and then go to your image folder. It's all going to be a temp. I don't know why Maya decides that when you render a sequence, it puts it all in a temp folder instead of the folder that you actually told it to put in, but that's how it is. So you're going to have to select all of your images and just cut them and paste them into your image folder. There you go. You're ready for Premiere. Alright, let's get to the interface, guys. So this is pretty easy. You should have some fun with it. Just go and import your image sequences into the interface. I have some right here, but I'm gonna go over it twice for you guys. So right click import and then go to the file folder where the files are, select the first one, make sure you have image sequence checked, and then import. I deleted my map there because the first frame was jacked up, so I'm going to re-import that later. Right now we're just going to go ahead and scale our stuff to where we want it and move it. As you can see, because there's an alpha channel, everything can overlap seamlessly, and you don't have to worry about some like random black background getting in the way. So, yeah. It can look pretty cool once you're done with it, and when you set it up correctly, it can look pretty slick. So obviously, some of the UI cuts out at a certain point. That's just because I haven't copied and pasted them to continue throughout the timeline, so we're gonna head and do that. I added the map back after I fixed it and putting it to the right. Alright, so yeah, just take just the different image sequences you have and just copy and paste them, and you're going to want to end up having all of these end at the same point in order for it to be seamless. So you can usually predict that, and if you want, just make all of your animations end at the exact same time, like have them all end at 120 frames. All of mine are at different frames just because of how simple some of them were and how complicated the others were, so I had to pretty much calculate how long they would last. And you see there, I'm testing out if I'd cut off the map, if it would work or not. And it's fine for the video, but if I wanted to create the video to loop forever, it's not going to work. So I'm going to end up just deleting that image sequence in a bit and adding some more copies to the timeline. Right, so we're pretty much done with the interface. Pretty cool. I'm sure you guys will make some pretty cool interfaces as well. Just make sure you're having fun while you're doing it so it doesn't become a hassle. You guys will need obviously 8 UI. I only have 4. I also created a background, but so you're going to need 8 UI. They probably don't have to be as complicated as some of mine, but if you want to learn how to make some complicated ones, I might go over the armor and the topographic map just so you guys can get a rehash on how the mesh networks work and how some of the deformers can make some cool stuff. So I'll see you guys in that video next, but if you don't watch that, well then good luck on your interface.